Imagine this. The clock is ticking down, the invigilator is pacing the hall, and you turn the page to a brutal 6-mark question on your Cambridge physics past paper. Now, I want to introduce you to two very typical students facing this exact high-pressure moment. First up, we've got Alex. Alex is a total physics fanatic. He literally knows the textbook back to front, but when he's actually faced with a question, he completely overloads his answers with raw physics facts. He just dumps everything he knows onto the page with absolutely no structural analysis. And then we have Sam. Sam rushes. Sam spots a keyword, panics about the time slipping away, and scribbles down a single rush sentence, completely missing the requirements of the command word. So what happens? When the results come back, their papers are just covered in red pen marks. Alex is exhausted and confused, and Sam just feels defeated. Let's be honest, what actually went wrong here? Well, today we're going to construct the absolute architectural blueprint for your Cambridge exam strategy. We're going to teach you how to design your answer like a master architect, making every single paragraph a structural masterpiece.
Here is our highly structured roadmap for today. We're kicking off with the hidden exam code, then diving straight into decoding command words and describe versus explain. After that, we'll tackle the language of physics, prove exactly why precision equals points, and finally, wrap it all up with your exam strategy. All right, let's jump into Section 1, the hidden exam code. To really crack this code, we have to start with a question I hear all the time. Why do students who actually know their physics still lose marks on the exam? Seriously, whether you're taking syllabus 0625, 0651, 0652, 5054, or 9702, the struggle is real. Most students treat the glossary at the back of their Cambridge coursebook like a boring dictionary to cram the night before. But guys, that is a massive misunderstanding. This glossary is not a dictionary. It's the actual secret playbook used by the examiners. It is literally the genetic code of the marking scheme. Think back to our student Alex for a second. Alex could spend 10 minutes writing a beautiful, scientifically flawless essay on kinetic energy. But if the question just asked him to state a fact and he didn't use the exact required terminology, he's probably walking away with 1 out of 4 possible marks. Because knowing the science is honestly only 50% of the battle. The other 50% is knowing exactly how to communicate that science according to Cambridge's strict, uncompromising rules. The official syllabus provides the exact framework you need. By mastering these command words and key words, you're essentially getting the architectural blueprint for success handed right to you. The examiners have given you the lock and the key. When an examiner sits down with thousands of papers to grade, they are definitely not looking for creative writing. They are scanning your answer for very specific triggers. We are going to decode these triggers together so you never leave easy marks on the table again. But before we continue, subscribe to our YouTube channel Ace the Exams at @acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon right now.
Let's move on to Section 2, decoding command words.
Command words are your instructions. They tell you exactly what the examiner wants and honestly what they really don't want you to do. Think of them as a volume dial for the level of detail required. To master this, top students apply the PEEL framework. That's point, evidence, explanation, and link to ensure every single sentence serves a purpose. Your mark potential goes from 0 to 100% when you know how much of the PEEL framework to use. On the low detail side, if a question says state, which the glossary defines as express in clear terms, or identify, meaning name, select, or recognize, you keep that dial low. You just give the point. Don't waste precious time writing a massive explanation because you literally won't get extra marks for it. But if the dial is cranked all the way up to justify, which means support a case with evidence or argument, or deduce, meaning conclude from available information, you need the full PEEL framework. Point, backed up with evidence, and a logical explanation linking it all together.
Let's compare calculate versus determine, because they trip so many people up. According to the official glossary, calculate means to work out from given facts, figures, or information. Basically, plug the numbers into an equation. But determine, that means to establish an answer using the information available. This is a super subtle but absolutely critical difference. Determine might require you to read a graph, use a geometry rule, or apply a fundamental physics principle before you do any math at all. If you just blindly start calculating when asked to determine, you're completely missing the structural logic the examiner is testing for.
Section 3. Describe versus explain. This is where we see the biggest transformations.
Okay, pay attention, because this is arguably the single biggest pitfall in physics exams.
confusing describe with explain. Getting this wrong is like being asked to build a roof and laying a foundation instead. Describe simply means to state the points of a topic, give characteristics, and main features. If you're describing a graph, you tell me the line goes up, it curves, it plateaus, bam, done. You're just painting a picture with words. But explain? The glossary strictly demands you set out purposes or reasons, make the relationships evident, provide why and/or how, and support with relevant evidence. If you explain that same graph, you have to tell me why the line goes up using actual physics principles. Remember our rushing student Sam? When asked to explain evaporation, he just described it as liquid turning to gas. Boom, red mark. But if Sam rewrites his answer live, applying Peel to talk about high-energy particles overcoming attractive forces at the surface, giving the how and the why, those red pen marks instantly transform into green check marks.
Before we dive into Section 4, the language of physics, I need you to stop scrolling. Subscribe to our YouTube channel Ace the Exams at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. We've helped thousands of students improve by 2 to 3 grade boundaries. Join them right now by subscribing to @acetheexams_IGCSE and turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly exam strategy sessions. All right, let's get into the exact language you need to score.
Let's shift from the how to the what. If command words are the structural beams of your answer, the keywords are the highly refined concrete. This is your specific ammunition. Time for a quick data scan challenge. Imagine a complex physics chart, and the question asks what happens at 0 Kelvin. If you write, it gets really cold and everything stops, you get absolutely 0 marks. The examiner is scanning your paper for the exact syllabus definition of absolute zero, the temperature at which particles have no kinetic energy. That precise scientific phrase is the only thing that unlocks the mark.
Now for challenge 2. Find the flaw. Take a complex concept like electromagnetic induction. Cambridge defines it as the production of an EMF across an electrical conductor when there is relative movement between the conductor and a magnetic field. Let's say a student writes a flawed paragraph saying, electromagnetic induction is when a magnet is put inside a coil to make electricity. Did you spot the missing marks? First, it produces an EMF, an electromotive force, not just generic electricity. Second, it strictly requires relative movement. Just sticking a magnet inside a coil does absolutely nothing if it isn't moving.
Think about how you would define an isotope. A rushing student might just say it's the same atom, but with a different weight. But a master architect, they use the exact syllabus phrasing. Isotopes of an element have the same proton number, but different nucleon numbers. Using the precise terms proton number and nucleon number is essential here. Vague, everyday words like weight or size will actively destroy your mark potential. Exact vocabulary really matters.
Section 5. Precision equals points. In Cambridge physics, close enough is literally never good enough. Precision is non-negotiable. Let's do a speed writing challenge in our heads. Contrast nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Fission is the splitting of a large, heavy nuclei into 2 or more smaller nuclei. Fusion is when 2 small, light nuclei join together to form a new, heavier nuclei. If you just write, fission breaks atoms and fusion makes them, you lose. Specific syllabus words like heavy, light, splitting, and join have to be explicitly on that page. Fission needs a large, heavy nucleus. Fusion needs small, light nuclei. These adjectives aren't just extra fluff, they are the entire core of the physics being tested.
You also have to realize how these definitions build on top of each other. Hooke's law states the extension of an object is proportional to the load producing it. But look at the definition for the limit of proportionality. Up to this limit, Hooke's law is obeyed. You literally cannot define the limit of proportionality if you don't already have a flawless, exact understanding of Hooke's law. It requires a rock-solid, interconnected foundation. Every definition is a structural brick supporting the next one.
Finally, Section 6, your exam strategy. Let's build your ultimate system. It is time to synthesize everything into an unbreakable answering system. Here are the 3 rules that guarantee top marks. Rule 1, circle the command word. Before you even glance at the numbers, know if you're stating, describing, or explaining. Rule 2, recall the precise glossary keyword. Think nucleon number, not weight. Rule 3, structure the answer accordingly. Apply the PEL framework based on the command word and use a time management matrix. 1 mark equals roughly 1 minute of focused writing. Students who implement these physics strategies see an average improvement of 2 grade boundaries, but only if they practice consistently with our weekly videos.
So, I'm leaving you with this.
Will you write your next answer like a panic student, just throwing words at a page? Or will you design it like a master examiner, meticulously constructing your points using the exact architectural blueprint of the syllabus? The choice is yours. Here's your final reminder. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at @acetheexams_IGCS to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Subscribe right now to @acetheexams_IGCS and click that bell. Don't let another exam pass you by. Drop a comment below with your target grade for physics and the biggest challenge you're facing. Our team responds to every comment. Like and share this video with a study partner. Ace the Exams. Your Cambridge success starts here.